A professional acrobat bets 20 lira that he can beat any student in town. The whole city shows up to watch. Teenage John Bosco steps forward, makes the sign of the cross, and accepts the challenge. The Miracles and Prophecies of St. John Bosco, a project of America Needs Fatima. I'm your host, Adrian Fonseca. Subscribe for new episodes every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Welcome to the Miracles and Prophecies of St. John Bosco. I'm Adrian Fonseca. These videos exist to share timeless wisdom from St. John Bosco that can transform your spiritual life today. Today's story is one of my absolute favorites. It has competition, humor, a furious rival, and a young man who risks public humiliation to get boys back to Mass. You're going to love this one. But before we start, would you like to have over 50 Catholics pray a daily rosary and offer up the graces just for you? Click the link in the description down below, and me and my friends will offer our daily rosaries for you and your intentions. Now, let me take you to a crowded street in Chieri. A traveling acrobat rolls into the small Italian city of Chieri. He's spectacular. He's lightning fast. The guy can sprint across the entire city in 2.5 minutes, nearly as fast as a locomotive. Very impressive, and nothing intrinsically wrong with that. But here's the problem. He schedules his best performances on Sunday mornings, right when Mass begins. And he succeeds in drawing people away from Mass. The crowds are gathering around him while the church empties out. John Bosco watches as fewer and fewer boys show up for Mass, and it breaks his heart. At first, he starts to reason with the boys, pleading with them to think about their eternal future. Then he sends a polite message to the acrobat, asking him to avoid performing during church hours. The acrobat laughs, and then he raises a stake. I'll bet 20 lira that I can beat any student in Chieri in a contest of strength or agility. 20 lira. That's serious money. That's roughly a month's wages. And the challenge spreads through the school like wildfire. Every eye turns toward John Bosco. At first, John hesitates. He doesn't have that kind of money. But his wealthy friends step in and cover the bet. Because they know that if he can beat this man, the acrobat might leave town and the boys might come back to church. So a huge crowd gathers. Students, shopkeepers, curious adults, the judges are chosen. The competitors step forward. John removes his jacket. Then he makes the sign of the cross and quietly entrusts himself to the Virgin Mary, just like he did before every important moment of his life. The first contest is a race. The acrobat shoots forward like an arrow, gaining a few paces. But John starts closing the distance, stride by stride, until he pulls ahead. Then halfway through, he slows down, stops, and lets the acrobat finish. The crowd laughs and cheers. The acrobat is furious. Now, before I tell you what happened in the next 3 challenges, and trust me, the finale is unbelievable, I want to stop and share something with you. Notice what John did before that race. Before every challenge, he made the sign of the cross. He entrusted himself to Mary. That was a young man who knew that he couldn't do any of this on his own. He needed Our Lady's protection. And as a monthly promoter of St. John Bosco, one of the most powerful benefits is that everyone on our team offers all of their rosaries for you. While you're dealing with whatever challenges the day brings, rosaries are being offered to Our Lady for you and your intentions. So click the link in the description below and donate whatever you would like. This helps fund the channel and it'll add your name immediately to our daily rosary intention list. Okay, back to John Bosco and that furious acrobat. After losing the race, he decided a contest of jumping might defeat the boy. Fine, he said, let's try something harder. The acrobat points to a deep water-filled ditch. Jump that. He goes first and barely makes it, grabbing a tree at the edge to keep him from falling backward. The people gasped. No one thought that anyone could jump that far. So John crosses himself again. He runs and he leaps, and as he reaches the edge, he throws his hands onto the masonry and he vaults his body upward and lands standing on the stone wall itself. The crowd explodes, and the acrobat, now red with frustration, shouted another challenge. Pick any juggling trick. Undaunted, John placed a hat on the tip of a stick, and he transfers it from finger to finger. Then to his elbow, and then to his shoulder, and then to his chin, to his lips, to his nose, and to his forehead, and then back again. Flawless. The crowd roared. The acrobat tried the same trick. So he went from finger to finger, and then to his elbow, and then to his shoulder, and his chin, and his lip, and it seemed as though he was going to accomplish it. But when the wand reached his long nose, it slipped, and he had to grab it with his other hand. And the crowd burst into laughter. Desperate, the acrobat issued one last challenge, a climbing contest. He pointed to a tall elm tree. Up he went first, like a cat, branch after branch, until the tree bent under his weight. Everyone said it was impossible to go any higher. And then John climbed, nearly reaching the same point. It seemed that the acrobat was slightly higher than John. Everyone held their breath, for it seemed that John could go no higher. But then he did something astonishing. Holding the trunk with his hands, he lifted his body upward and raised his feet above the top of the tree. With the ground 50 feet below, he did a handstand, extending his body further than the acrobats. For a moment, the silence was deafening, and then their cheers erupted like thunder. But here's the most beautiful part. John and his friends returned the prize money to the acrobat and asked him to buy them lunch instead. The acrobat agrees, and before leaving town, he says, "By returning this money, you have kept me from ruin. I thank you with all my heart. I will never bet against students again." That day, John Bosco didn't just beat the acrobat, he made a friend as well. And the heart of the story really isn't about the athletics. The real story is that John Bosco never did anything for personal glory. All of his feats of athleticism was for one purpose: to get the boys back to Mass. And the thing that made it all possible wasn't his physical talent alone. It was the sign of the cross that he made before every challenge, and his absolute trust in Mary. So here's what I want you to think about. What's the acrobat in your life? What's the thing pulling you or the people you love away from God? And what would it look like to step up, to make the sign of the cross, and face it head on? Before you go, watch The Greased Tree That No One Could Climb. That episode dives into another jaw-dropping moment of Don Bosco's physical skills and the spiritual lessons behind it. If you love today's story, that one is the perfect follow-up. Click on the video on your screen right now. St. John Bosco, pray for us. May God bless you, and Mary Immaculate keep you under her mantle. God love you.